In India, there are over 70,000 students who are pursuing the ACCA qualification today. My objective over here is to help the people to have more options when they want to pursue their career, have the people to be more informed whenever they are making their career decision, and then decide what do they want to do.
बहुत सारे जन जो ACCA कर रहे हैं या जो ACCA बन चुके हैं, बॉस, ये आपके लिए ना टाइम में पक्का से जान जाओ that this is the man, he is the man who is behind what all you have gone through.
ACCA professionals are required and they are being consumed in India and across the globe.
Students, you really need to appreciate that such a versatile qualification which has like presence in so many countries and have so many professionals working across the globe would have a very different level of acceptability, right? Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Pankaj Dhingra and boss, आज ना हम एक और podcast में आपको ना फटाफट से ले चलते हैं. We are today gonna be touching upon one of the most important aspect of your life, that is how to make a good career in the global world. And for that, I have with me one of the eminent personalities from the industry. I have with me Mr. Prabhanshu Mittal. He is one of the stature, my friend, in the industry who has been a pillar behind so many individuals who have done what they have done in the area of finance. I'll not get away with stealing this thunder from him. I want him to really speak about himself in terms of what he has done, the way he has done. So we'll quickly move on with his introduction and then we will pick it up from there. So thank you, Prabhanshu, for really coming up. It is really a pleasure having you, and we really welcome you to our podcast. It is really relevant, right, for the student fraternity, for the people who want to make career, to really get inputs from you or get inspiration from you in terms of what you've done. So we'll start off with your introduction first, and then we'll pick it up from there.
Thank you, Pankaj, for having me over here. First of all, I'm super excited to be actually connecting with the student community and to be the part of this podcast. Thank you. So, I had the education partner relationships for India at ACCA, and I've been with ACCA for almost 10 years now. One of the early joiners in ACCA India. Before that, of course, I've been mostly with the education sector. I've worked with a few other organizations within the education sector, worked with in the K-12, in the higher education, in the library segments altogether. However, I started my career with insurance sector, and my first job was actually with ICICI Prudential. I've done my MBA from Birla Institute of Technology back in 2008 and have been actually part of the corporate since then.
Oh, very nice. I think such a different progression, right, into a very different arena, wherein if one starts off from the insurance and then you're actually working for last almost a decade with one of the, I would say, well-known accounting bodies in the world. I would say it's a very, very different transition, right, that you have made. But Prabhanshu, what if I really probably go back into your bachpan, right, your kid life? So how did you started off? What exactly you did, and then where do you started off your career with, and how you reached where you have reached?
Okay, so first of all, I belong to Kanpur. That's an industrial city in the UP, of course, those who don't know, which I'm sure that most of the people do. And of course, Kanpur is famous for quite a few things, including leather and leather industries and a lot of other industries which are there. Having done my schooling and the graduation from Kanpur, I did my MBA from Birla Institute of Technology in Ranchi. And then after that, I started working with ICICI Prudential. There I was working within the bank assurance channel. So working with the Bank of India as a channel partner. During the course, and I worked over there for a year, not more than that. I felt that I really want to do something within the education, because education as a sector always excited me. And after having left ICICI Prudential, and that's when in 2009, I ventured into education sector having worked with a few organizations, whether it is in the school education, selling the technologies to various schools, then moving into the higher education, working with various libraries, public funded institutions, with ministries. Then I moved into Encyclopedia Britannica, which was a short instinct I did before joining ACCA. And in 2015 September, that's when I joined Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, which is one of the most prestigious, largest professional body in the field of accounting and finance. The reason what actually it keeps me going on a day-to-day basis, and I've been working away for almost a decade now, is that I feel that I touch people's life. I'm helping out the people to make their career, especially when they are actually aspiring to become a professional accountant. That's what ACCA does, and that's what my job is over here to drive within India.
Oh, I can completely correlate to the motive that you just mentioned. And guys, for you to know, बहुत सारे जन जो ACCA कर रहे हैं या जो ACCA बन चुके हैं, बॉस, या आपके लिए ना टाइम में पक्का से जान जाओ that this is the man, he is the man who is behind what all you have gone through. He is one of the pillars, my friend, who has helped ACCA do what they have done over a period of time onto our geography. And guys, there is certainly a huge amount of effort that has gone behind that. So thank you, Prabhanshu, for that. I can correlate to that. After being associated with ACCA now for a long time, I can really correlate to that. But you really touched upon a very important point कि boss, हम वो काम कर रहे हैं जिससे हम काफी सारे जन को touch कर पाते हैं in terms of helping them in their career, which is a noble cause, of course, by all means. But क्या वो चीज है जो आपको हेल्प करती है हर समय वो एग्रेशन रखने में या वो एनर्जी रखने में in terms of what you're doing? One, of course, is that you're helping someone and helping them build their career. But वो क्या ऐसी zeal है प्रभांशु के अंदर से जो हमेशा रहती है, in terms of being, वो कहते हैं ना, कार्यरत रहने के लिए जॉब में वो क्या किक है जो प्रभांशु के पास हमेशा मिलती है? And I've seen always you to be on your front foot in terms of managing the thing. So वो क्या ऐसी एनर्जी है?
I think that's my own experience, Pankaj, which is probably one of the main reason that kept me going. So I'll just slightly go back in the timeline and talk about myself. Why did I actually do an MBA, and I did the MBA from the same institution? That's probably one of the questions. So I was actually pretty decent insofar by education is concerned. ठीक ठाक पढ़ाई कर लेता
Unlike
था
me,
मैं.
right? Unlike
So हम दो दोस्त थे, आसपास ही रहते थे, पड़ोसी थे, and हम दोनों पढ़ने में अच्छे थे, and kind of an idol for the rest of the folks over there in the mohalla where I used to live. And he actually chose MBA before me during the course of his graduation. Of course, I come from an humble background, so I had to take an year drop to pursue that. So when I actually did my CAT, so I got a pretty decent percentile during then. But I chose the same institution because I thought that, okay, if he is joining in over there, so that has to be a good institution. And that was a good institution, I wouldn't say that. But there were many other institutions which are actually available to my choice. So मेरे को रिस्क नहीं लेना था. मेरे को एक ऐसे इंस्टीट्यूशन में जा रहा था जहाँ पे ज़्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट ज़्यादा ना हो और जहाँ पे ऑलरेडी कोई पढ़ रहा हो, क्योंकि हमारी ऐसे ही पढ़ाई होती थी हिंदुस्तान में जहाँ पे लोग अपने नेबर्स को, अपने जानने वालों को फॉलो करते हैं. So they follow the success stories, and that's what I did. Today I realize that I could have actually made a more informed choice then. So my objective over here is to help the people to have more options when they want to pursue their career, have the people to be more informed whenever they are making their career decision, and then decide what do they want to do. So the information is something which is more important here, and that's what my job is, and that's what keeps me going.
Oh yes, and I think I can be the testimony to that because I've always seen that kind of an energy. And होगा भी ना, शायद हमें जब लगता है कि बॉस ये चीज़ हमें नहीं मिली या हमारे पास नहीं थी that point in time, वो guidance, वो इन्फॉर्मेशन हमारे पास नहीं
या
थी
हो सकती थी।
या हो सकती थी, तो वो क्यों नहीं हम किसी को दें किसी भी शेप एंड फॉर्मेट में, एंड दैट रियली मेक्स लॉट ऑफ सेंस. बट Prabhanshu, coming from I'll not say small town, but not a metropolitan, to a metropolitan, from where you started and where you have reached, right? What do you think has been the two reasons for this success? क्या वो चीज़ है, and ये वो चीज़ है जिससे जो स्टूडेंट जानना चाहेंगे कि प्रभांशु ने एक टियर 2 सिटी से शुरू किया, एंड नाउ ही इज हेडिंग द एजुकेशन पार्टनरशिप फॉर ए फर्म लाइक फॉर ए कंपनी लाइक ACCA. तो ये कैसे पॉसिबल हुआ? क्या वो दो चीज़ें हैं जो अगर आप आज पीछे मुड़ के देखोगे तो आपको लगेगा हाँ ये दो मेरे सक्सेस फैक्टर्स थे जिसने मुझे बहुत हेल्प किया?
आई थिंक पहली चीज़ जो थी जिसने मुझे सबसे ज़्यादा हेल्प करी इज़ दैट देयर आर नो शॉर्टकट्स इन द लाइफ.
Oh yes.
So it has to have one has to have the right attitude and the temperament, and one has to be motivated enough to invest the time and the energy into whatever one wants to achieve. That's one. Second is continue to learn. Never. So I firmly believe that if you are best in the class, that means you are in the wrong class. So I continue to learn, and I still feel that okay, there is a lot for me to learn today, and that has also helped me a lot. So continue to learn and continue to drive your energy and focus and the efforts into a direction. What do you want to achieve?
And I think I know you really nailed it very rightly that जब ये लगने लग जाए ना बॉस कि मेरे पास कुछ लर्न करने को है नहीं, तो फिर then it is a time to get into a different classroom for sure, and that really gives you a kick, right? That really gives you a kick to do something more, something different, and learn something more. So you always remember that. That's really important, right? And that's where somewhere you would find the leaders like Prabhanshu really coming up with the flying colors because they have the eagerness to learn. So अगर आप उसको नहीं मरने दोगे in terms of the eagerness, so it always helps, right, in terms of taking the right step. प्रभांशु, कोई ऐसा कोई कभी ऐसा लगा, कोई ऐसा फेलियर जो आपने देखा हो जो आपको लगता है हमारी ऑडियंस के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट होगा समझना कि हाँ अगर कुछ ऐसी गलतियां करोगे तो फेल हो जाओगे या फेलियर मिलेगा, ताकि वो ये गलतियां ना करें?
Okay, so for me, what is most important is that you continue to make the mistakes but do not repeat them. So
Good one.
So what is most important for me is that do not repeat the mistakes to what you have done. So whatever failures which I have faced or whatever mistakes I have done, and I'm sure that I've done plenty of them, the only thing which I actually tried and made an effort to is to not to repeat them. So that's something which is the most important thing. In terms of the failures, there has been many. मेरी पढ़ाई जो है वो सरकारी स्कूल से हुई है. मैंने हिंदी मीडियम में पढ़ाई करी है पूरे जीवन, and there has been a lot of career ups and downs as well. So yeah, but as I said, the right temperament and continue to learn is something which is the most important thing to do.
Very right. And I think guys, this is something to learn, right? This is something to really relish, that हिंदी मीडियम से पढ़ाई करी, सरकारी स्कूल से पढ़ाई करी, एंड देन नाउ इज वर्किंग फॉर वन ऑफ द टॉप नॉच फर्म्स ऑफ UK, हैविंग प्रेजेंस अराउंड द वर्ल्ड एंड सो ऑन सो फोर्थ. सो पॉसिबल तो कुछ भी है ना, पॉसिबल तो कुछ भी हो सकता है, बशर्ते यू हैव द हंगर ऑफ कोर्स टू लर्न मोर एंड मोर, एंड ऑफ कोर्स टू कीप डूइंग व्हाट यू आर डूइंग, एंड टू व्हाट ही जस्ट मेंशन गाइस कि गलती सबसे होने वाली है, आपसे भी, मेरे से भी, इनसे भी, सबसे होने वाली है. एसेंस ये है कि हम उस गलती को रिपीट ना करें, वो प्रॉब्लम दोबारा आने ना दें अपने जीवन में, एंड ऑफ कोर्स वी मूव फॉरवर्ड in terms of handling that. I think it's a very well said, I would say, thing for anyone to learn. अगर मैं इसको ना एक इस पर्सपेक्टिव से जोड़ूं प्रभांशु कि अगर हम बिकॉज बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स जो आते हैं ना हमारे पास, इंक्लूडिंग स्टूडेंट्स हु रियली कम फॉर ACCA, उनका भी यही सवाल होता है कि अच्छा वो तो कहीं तो सिटीज़ लाइक दिल्ली से भी आते हैं या दिल्ली के बाहर से भी आते हैं, उनका भी यही सवाल होता है कि क्या मैं क्वालिफिकेशन करके यहाँ काम कर पाऊंगा, कोई ग्लोबल रोल ले पाऊंगा. सो उस पर क्या कहेंगे आप, फॉर पीपल हु आर एस्पायरिंग टू डू ACCA, who wants to make their career in ACCA, is this something that they can do and work for various companies in the global roles, global profiles?
Okay, so two parts of this to respond to this particular question. Number one is ACCA has got almost 600,000 students and over 250,000 members who have pursued or are pursuing the qualification across 181 countries. That means 90% of the world, almost. That's where the ACCA is present in some form or another, in terms of our students or the member base or the offices or presence, whatever we have. That means अगर 90% दुनिया के अंदर लोग ACCA कर रहे हैं या कर चुके हैं, that means the qualification is relevant for so far the globe is concerned or global opportunities are concerned. Number two is in India, what are we doing? In India, there are over 70,000 students who are pursuing the ACCA qualification today. And I have got students who are pursuing the ACCA qualification from the far north to the far northeast to the far south, and across all the four corners of the country. Given that the economy is now more global in nature, and India is one of the epicenter of the global economy engine. There are a lot of opportunities which are of the global in nature and based in India as well. Given that, for example, shared services. And there are a lot of shared services center. There are almost every or most of the large conglomerates, they do have their offices in India. हम लोग देखते हैं कि बहुत सारी कंपनीज के CFOs or the leadership, the finance leadership is also based in India today. So in that sense, the opportunities are immensely available for anybody who is pursuing the ACCA qualification in India, and those opportunities are very much available within India. I would encourage everyone to go on ACCA Careers website and explore it yourself and see that वो opportunities कहाँ पर है, चाहे वो investment banking में हो, चाहे वो financial consulting में जैसे for example Big Fours में हो, चाहे वो ITES sector के अंदर हो, चाहे वो automobile में हो, FMCG में हो, or any sector which you can think of. ACCA professionals are required and they are being consumed in India and across the globe.
And that's where, students, you really need to appreciate that, such a versatile qualification which has like presence in so many countries and have so many professionals working across the globe would have a very different level of acceptability, right? From anybody in the world. And if you are doing a qualification like that, तो बहुत value ना होने का तो मतलब ही नहीं है. And as Prabhanshu rightly mentioned कि इतना ज़्यादा I would say भरोसा है लोगों को इंडिया पे in terms of having their center, having their base, having their captive, having their shared services in India, that the demand of these professionals are huge in terms of somebody who has an ACCA and somebody who doesn't have an ACCA. So if you're really thinking of going global, then of course this is the one to really look forward to. प्रभांशु, कई बार ना हम ऐसे भी समझते हैं कि हमने काफ़ी कुछ किया और हम यहाँ पहुँच गए, और कई बार ऐसा भी फील आता है कि यार मैं कुछ और कर लेता ना तो मैं कुछ और हो जाता, राइट? होता है ना कई बार. तो कभी ऐसा मन में ख्याल आया कि यार मैं ये नहीं करता तो शायद मैं यहाँ पहुँच जाता, या मैं कुछ और कर लेता? कभी ऐसा कुछ लगा, और लगा तो क्या है ऐसा?
I think nobody is immune to this. कि शायद मैं ये कर लेता तो मैं ये अचीव कर लेता. For me, I think that has been more important, that where I am and what contributions I am making, whether it is to the organization for which I am working or whether it is to the clients to whom I am serving, or whether it is an overall impact which I am actually making in the society, on the economy. And I think my role at ACCA, and that's what I mentioned in the beginning, that keeps me going for almost a decade now and will continue to do that, is that I'm making a difference somewhere. I'm making a positive difference to the people's life. And that's has been my motivation and will continue to motivate me.
Very good. I think that's really important, guys. And one really has to learn from this in terms of how one should be thinking about their own selves. कि मुझे क्या करना चाहिए. अपने मन से ये भावना भी नहीं होनी चाहिए कि मैं किसी छोटे टाउन से हूँ या मैं हिंदी मीडियम में पढ़ता हूँ. ये भावना अपने मन में बिल्कुल नहीं होनी चाहिए, because if you keep learning, keep doing what you're doing, if you have the hunger to do more, if you have hunger to really grow in your life, then sky is the limit, right?
Exactly.
Sky is the limit. There is no dearth of opportunities that you would have. It's only that you probably have to show the hunger to really catch them, and of course grow with them, and keep learning, keep doing, and of course keep growing. That is what you really need to have in your mind, and that's what this gentleman really inspires us with. That yes, one should be really thinking about taking the right next steps. प्रभांशु, एक लर्निंग जो आप शेयर करना चाहोगे हमारी ऑडियंस से, जो जो गलती शायद ऑडियंस को नहीं करनी चाहिए अगर उन्हें कहीं पहुंचना है, कहीं ग्रो करना है, वो क्या ऐसी गलती है जो आप, या क्या ऐसा वर्ड ऑफ कॉशन है जो, या एडवाइस है मैं बोलूं, जो आप देना चाहोगे, जो बच्चे अगर ना करें या ऑडियंस हमारी गलती ना करे तो प्रॉब्ली दे कैन रियली डू वंडर्स इन देयर लाइफ.
आई थिंक एक जगह ऐसी है जहाँ पे लोग अक्सर गलती करते हैं, इज़ अबाउट मेकिंग द एक्सक्यूज़. देयर इज़ नो एक्सक्यूज़ इन योर लाइफ. whatever is happening in your life, whatever you have done, good or bad, one is responsible for it. So please do not make excuse and try to achieve what you want to do.
And guys, this is, I'll probably extend this further. जहाँ हम एक्सक्यूज़ की बात करते हैं ना, उसका सीधा का सीधा मतलब ये है कि बॉस जो कर्म करने वाले हो ना वो फल आएगा. तो कृपा करके बहाने बनाना बंद करो कि ऐसा नहीं और वैसा नहीं. अपने कर्मों को सुधारो, अपने कर्मों को सही करो in terms of doing what you're doing. Take the ownership of your own career and then run with it. Run with it to really achieve what you can and what you should. Because there is, as I said, as our guest has been saying, Prabhanshu has been saying, that boss, sky is the limit. थोड़ा सा मेहनत करो तो सही, learn करने की इच्छा रखो तो सही. Sky is certainly the limit. I would say, I think it was a pleasure talking to you, Prabhanshu. Knowing you, knowing your journey, where you started, where you reached, what you're doing, how much contribution you have been making to our kids, to the kids at large. And I can personally vouch that, guys, that, I have seen he being the pillar behind so many things that you guys are going through and of course will go through. So I would say thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you very much for turning out here. I still remember when I called you and you were in a meeting that point in time, and I requested you that, why don't you really join us for a podcast? And I think, guys, this is something to really relish, that he was kind enough to say that, if it is for students, why not? I'm very much open for that. Thank you very much for being open for these kind of value-added, I would say, discussions that kids would have. We really relished, and we really would be troubling you, as we may say, if we have something like this wherein we think that we would need you to really guide the students' fraternity at large. Thank you very much.
It was fascinating over here, and thank you for inviting me, Pankaj, over here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We really look forward. Thank you.